just to give you a walk through what's in my wardrobe, to share a little bit insight about me, and how I look after my clothes, how I hang them, how my wardrobe is placed, and just a little bit of information about what the pieces mean to me. Quite clear in my wardrobe, there's two parts to it. There's my previous employment days when I worked for COS, and there's quite a few pieces in there that have stood the test of time because they are a good brand with the quality of their fabrics. And then the other part is made up of charity shops and vintage. I really struggle to find anything that is new, except for two other things. So I finished working for COS nearly 2.5 years ago, and I worked for them for I think 7 years on and off, with maternity leave in the middle. So I have quite a collection of COS pieces, which is lovely because their pieces are really nice. But I think as I left them, as you transition and you move into a new stage of your life, your style evolves, and you end up getting new things and finding that freedom again. So yeah, depending where you're working, I think your wardrobe kind of evolves with that. So I would say for me now, you can see what my kind of passion in my wardrobe is, and my favourite thing to buy, and that is blouses. When I look on here, it's quite clear to me the garment that has the most range in here, and that is, like I say, the blouses. So I group my garments together, and I always make sure that the garments are buttoned up. This is from working in retail for many years and perfecting these skills on the shop floor, where you want to present them as a visual merchandiser. Everything has to be perfect. So that has stood with me for many years. So you can see I group my garments together, and that's the blouses here, and all the way back to here. So my blouses start here. So I have a lot of blouses, and they range in colour, so colour and print, and also you will see I have this amount of white blouses, a white shirt or a white blouse, and this one as well. I think it's just key for a wardrobe. You can do so much with the blouse, and they come in lots of different styles. So I mean, ones like this that have just, I don't know if you can see here, really lovely button back and just like details around the neck, and that's like a really crisp, you can hear it, a really crisp cotton, really simple but just really lovely and perfect for, like I talk about a lot, for layering. So here I have a two-piece that I got from a flea market in Skipton in Yorkshire. So this is Calvin Klein, and I think it was £10 for this set. So it looks quite sack-like, which I like because I like things really loose and just really nice fabric. So this is linen, and it's Calvin Klein. And zip back, and it's just a really cool little piece. Nothing much to it. I mean, the colour, it's really simple. And if you team it with something underneath, like this really simple blouse, I just think it can be worn in lots of different ways. I talk about layering a lot because it's the key to having a more sustainable wardrobe. I don't work seasonally. Right now we live in a time where the seasons aren't so separate. They slide into another one. So we have, spring moving swiftly into summer. Some days like today where it's really beautiful, it's about 20 degrees and it's springtime. And then tomorrow it could be drastically changed. So I wouldn't say my wardrobe is ever seasonal. It definitely works for the whole year, just with the matter and understanding how to layer things. And I think the whole, this can be worn with flats, with trainers, and then also worn with a heel if you wanted, or like a really chunky 70s boot, which I probably would. So that's like a really simple look to do there with the layering. Other things that I talked about is the white shirt. So this is also another favourite, and this one is from COS, and it's just silk and it's off-white, so it's like creamy and it's kind of like a little bit milky. It's silk, so it's just so floaty, and it's shorter here, longer at the back. Now I have a huge rip in it here. It's not even on the seam, it's gone like right underarm. I need to talk to Anita and she can help me sort this out, because I do not want to part with this blouse, and also my sewing skills are not the best, so I need some help from Anita with this, because I don't want to give this away, so give this up. So how I've been styling it is putting it underneath things where you can't see the tear. Oh wow, I have one on that side as well. Okay, so then yeah, and that can easily go. So I had it underneath this dress that I bought for my cousin's wedding. I think it was 5 years ago. Who's going to correct me if I'm wrong? But yeah, and I put it underneath this. So again, making sure I get the wear out of pieces and not just keeping it for one thing. This shirt, this dress by Finery London, and so I put this underneath, and I also brought the cuff. And so this I was wearing in autumn last year, and I had it with like tights as well, just so I can kind of get more wear from my pieces. And I really don't think we have to think about saving things for a wedding and then never wearing them again. So I really try and make sure I maximise all the wears and don't hold on to things for that most amazing occasion, because that occasion might not come and you've got all these beautiful clothes, or clothes that you really have at home that you want to be wearing, and just enjoy them. That's what I think. So this is another look, and then you can easily team it up with maybe more of a relaxed jacket. So this actually belonged to my husband, and you can just zip it all up and get just a few different looks from it. And that's definitely the key to how I style my things. So this needs stitching up. I don't want to part with it. It's really soft, it's silk, and it's just really nice to wear. So I make sure I try and use it in a different way. Great little coat from the Nora store in Stockport. And I've worn this, and I bought it just before we went into lockdown. And I love it. It's not everybody's cup of tea. It's vegan leather, and I've never had anything by this brand, I have had one other t-shirt from House of Sunny, and this is the second piece I've got, and I think it's such a great little coat. I've still got the labelling, I've not even taken it out, even though I've been wearing it, and I just think it's just so creamy and dreamy. There's my house keys, I found them. So it's so creamy and dreamy, and I just love wearing it, and it looks so nice when you've got like a pastel colour, team it with other pastel colours, and I think that just really works. And another thing that I like to do is mix up the fabrics. If you're a tactile person and you like different fabrics, then it's such a nice thing to make the most of. So yeah, I've got this kind of chiffon feel of like an old little nightgown type with this coat over the top, and I think it's just really nice to wear. So yeah, great Nora store purchase there. I think it was in the sale. It was the last thing. Oh, it's the first thing I bought in, I think, I don't know, maybe 3 years new. And that's because I just try and always shop secondhand, or always go with vintage. Or recently started embracing the clothing swaps. Been to some great ones. Not lots, but a few. And got to organise one a little bit with On the Brink studio with Elle there, and we worked together and did our first clothes swap, and that was great. I met some really lovely people and picked up this amazing silver skirt. I mean, I definitely didn't go thinking I must get a silver skirt, but it had been in my mind, and I think silver, like teamed with grey especially, it's such a, like, you know, it's silver, so if you get a shiny fabric with more of a matte, like mix those two together. That's another little idea I think that works really nice. You go to clothing swaps, you pick things up that you see new brands that you've never tried before, you leave like inspired by other people's clothing, you let other people go with your clothing, go into a new home, and it's just a really, really nice thing to be able to do. What are we talking about? These are two of my favourite pairs of trousers. So these I got at a charity shop in Burnley, and these are definitely some elderly ladies' old trousers by Farah. I'm not even sure. But I just loved this powder blue colour, and they're just really flattering on with pleats down the front. They're really high-waisted, and again like with a nice, just like different colours, pastel colours, and they're the perfect length. They stop just at the top of my ankle. Again, they were I think £4.50 for that pair, and then this pair that looked like I'm going on safari, which I just love. Again, they must have belonged to the same person, because I often find when I go into charity shops, you can tell, almost you can start imagining the person who dropped their pieces off, and you can gravitate towards, like you can see the bag that's being delivered in the charity shop, and I end up picking, it feels like somebody's whole wardrobe that I'm looking at, and I just love that. Like if you look after your things, if you love your things, they tell so many more stories, and that's what's so exciting about clothing. We don't need to be making much more and more and more. Like we can actually just really appreciate the things that we have. And that is also the joy of buying secondhand. You never know who's had it before you. For some people, they can't get behind it, but if you do, then you appreciate what I'm saying. This is perhaps my favourite piece that I have in my wardrobe. I wore it most recently to my mum's surprise 70th birthday party. Again, it's 100% silk. The colour, like this brown kind of taupey colour with like this delicate print on. It's just so beautiful to wear. You can like just feel, like if you can feel it. It's 100% silk. The label is faded now, but it says Paris, so it's like a French vintage piece. And it's the ruffles and the sleeves. You can see here it needs a little bit of help now because it's silk and it's just so delicate. But just the gathering, the ruffle, and then this waist, how it just kind of just sits quite low here. And it's just the most beautiful thing to wear. It's just so floaty, and you can literally just glide on by wherever you're wearing it. And I just love it. And that with something like worn over the top, you can either do it quite feminine and girly with more ruffles, because I like a lot of ruffle. So you can go even more ruffles, which is really, really cute. And then I'd go with like a blazer. And this is part of a trouser suit that I bought secondhand in a vintage shop in Bonalzik. And I wear this blazer quite a lot just on its own. And I think when you've got a heavy, really lightweight vintage dress, silk and feminine, it's really nice to kind of layer it up and then get like a chunky blazer like this over the top. Quite masculine, quite heavy, quite oversized, and it picks out the blue colour. And even it doesn't have to pick out any colour. I don't really think about colours. I just go with what feels nice. I think I'm more naturally drawn to chalky, pastel-y, soft colours. When I'm outside, like when the sky is like a paler, more powdery blue, when the flowers are blooming, when you've got the blossom. I go with like the feeling that I get when I see colours. And then I add that into my wardrobe. And I think it's just really nice to kind of be more aware of what is around you, because if you feel more aware, you feel that connection, then you can bring that into your wardrobe and be wearing it, and that's pretty special, I think. So yeah, this trouser suit was a great thing, buying a secondhand trouser suit, because you get so much wear from it, and this is a wool one. So again, this is great because you can wear a really lightweight dress, and then you're going to feel the warmth with the wool, and the trousers kind of really add to that, which is great to have a suit. Never really had a suit before, so you feel the difference when you're wearing a suit. There's something about it that brings that kind of mature feeling, and just like, yeah, I'm wearing a suit, and it's quite an interesting vibe to go with. So yeah, I would recommend trying that. And then I think, yeah, like these blouses I've had for years, and I think for me, I don't have any secrets about where I shop. I shop when I'm out and about. I don't really have like a set Saturday where I'm like, right, I'm going shopping, have a list. It's more when I'm out and about, if I see something, if I'm in a new little village or a town, if I'm out for a walk and I see a charity shop, I will go there. Recently we were in Buxton, and I ended up going in some charity shops there. Well, this is last year actually, and found some great little pieces there as well. So it's kind of just being alert and aware, and just kind of enjoying it and not making it into a hassle. And that's what I like to do with fashion and clothing, and just exploring your style. Because I think if you give yourself that opportunity to enjoy it, then it's going to become more apparent as to what your style is and what you want to get from your clothing when you're wearing it. Things kind of more oversized, comfortable. I wouldn't say I have anything that's very fitted. I don't really look at, like when I'm out in a shop or a charity shop, I don't look at sizing very often. I mean, this is made in USA, a size 10, which if you add 4, that makes it a size 14. I don't look at sizes so much. I just go with kind of what I'm interested in, what the feel of something in a charity shop, or the print or the colour. I'd say that's kind of like the most bold colour, that one and this one here, which is quite dark for me, but I really liked the real lightweightness of this to wear over, kind of the oversized feeling of it, and it's just quite loose. You can just like slop about in it, and it's just really nice to be able to do that. When I lived in Stockholm, I found a great store called Judith's, and I found these really lovely high-waisted cream trousers, and they're really wide, and I just really liked those. So I make sure when I'm not wearing things, again, I'm always putting them back on the hanger. Jeans I would hang or have folded down at the bottom of my wardrobe here. So jeans I always have folded really down there. These are my COS ones from maybe, 5 years, 6 years. I can't remember, but I've had them many years. What shape are these? Mid-rise straight cropped length. They are like the jean for me, and I just can't feel to replace them or want to replace them, because they've just washed and worn just perfectly, and I've just loved wearing them. So I like things that are wide, loose, comfortable. Like, I don't want to feel restricted. I want to be able to lunge or dance or move or do whatever, or I don't want to be worrying about what I'm wearing. I just want to be able to move in it. So I'd say over the years my style has evolved, moving to a different country, coming back to Manchester, moving from the countryside to being in cities, living in London, in Hong Kong. Your style, you pick up so much inspiration from your environment, and that's what's really beautiful, because I think that's what's kind of in my wardrobe now. And families, friends, everybody inspires me. I don't read fashion magazines, I don't follow trends, I don't really look at any catwalks or anything. I'm just really more into what feels good, what's happening seasonally in the weather, and then how I'm going to layer that with the pieces I've got. I believe you can wear all these things all year round. It's just a matter of having kind of good layering pieces that go underneath things. Again, these are 2 pieces from COS. Having good layers will determine how much longevity you can get from the pieces and how maximising the wears. So I'd say kind of one of the oldest things to me maybe that I have on here is something that I wore for my wedding in the evening. This is also from Made in California, USA, and I got this at a vintage shop on Tibb Street 10 years ago. 10.5 years ago now. So I think I've continued wearing it for various different things. Again, it totally works like with something layered underneath it. I think you can just get so much more wear from things. It's quite extreme in the colour, but it's just a jumpsuit, and jumpsuit's a lot of fun to wear. Again, you can just team it with great kind of denims. I think denim looks is a good kind of look to wear, and you can just team it like that, and I think it's just another way of getting more from the pieces that I wore on my wedding night, now on my wedding day in the evening, and now I can continue wearing it. So I think it's just about extending the life of your garments. Overall, my message is just hold on to the pieces you have. Love them, take care of them, don't overwash them, and layer them, and just enjoy them. Remember where you got them, if you can, or remember what they mean to you, remember the experiences you've had in them, and just enjoy them, I think, overall. And when you're not wearing them, hang them up. Let them have their moments with their friends, hanging side by side, and let them know that they're taken care of, and then your clothing can take care of you as well. Yeah, thanks for listening to my wardrobe walkthrough. I hope you got some little tips on how to appreciate your things. If you are interested in hearing how we can look after your wardrobe, then do reach out, get in touch, because I would love to help you talk about your style, help you connect with what you're looking for with it, and build a wardrobe that's got longevity for you. Thanks.